Alright folks, I have some bad news. I'm going to put videos on an indefinite hiatus. This really shouldn't be a surprise because I've not been updating on a consistent schedule, not even once a week. Things have been turbulent. It's been a good kind of turbulent though. In May I had a comic convention or zine fest every single weekend, and I was still making stuff for clients, Patreon, and the webcomic validation. I've also been working on a podcast called Extra Clothespins, a podcast about congressional news and how you can take action in episodes that last 5 minutes or less. But you notice how I didn't list videos or YouTube in that list? Well, that's because YouTube isn't my number one priority. To be fair, it never was. YouTube was a side project I was doing for the funzies. There was a hope deep down that YouTube would pick up and take off and I could get a little extra AdSense revenue from posting YouTube videos, but honestly, I have more success with Project Wonderful on my webcomics when it comes to advertising revenue. Plus, there were a ton of ideas for the YouTube channel that would be faster and cheaper to produce as podcasts, blog posts, or just plain comics. And to reiterate, YouTube was not my priority. My priority has been making comics. It's been my priority since the end of February when I got laid off from my day job at Michael's and switched to full-time comics making to pay the bills. This last April and May have been huge for me in terms of determining what's a priority and what's getting in the way. In April, after I went to Pittsburgh Indie Comics Expo, I deleted my Twitter account because Twitter was no longer fun to use, didn't promote my work like I hoped, and kept getting in the way. And that's not even getting into how fundamentally flawed Twitter is as a platform. In May, things got super hectic because of the one comic convention a week schedule. I still got client work done, but a lot of it was downplayed so I could replenish my comic stock for the next show, and so I could really perfect my sales pitches. May was the best month for me sales-wise, but it set me back on my client work. So for the rest of June, I'm catching up on that client work and going to fewer shows. I still have shows I'm going to in June, but it's not the same schedule as May. But with that said, there's still a lot of work to be done for me to make full-time comics creating a decent paying gig. I want to get my focus on the stuff that matters. Client work, webcomics, Patreon, and conventions. That means, though, that YouTube is going to get cut. So no new videos from me. If and when I come back to it, the video formats are going to be very different from what I've done previously. You may ask for more live stream material because live streams are supposedly easier to do than just straight vlogs or other videos, but A, I've never done a live stream before, and B, I can't even guarantee I'll start or update those on a consistent basis either. Videos are just not where my energy's going right now. My energy has to go into my work. I also do a lot of volunteer work outside of my work making comics. Stuff like extra clothespins, getting involved in the indivisible groups in my area, running an LGBT advocacy group. All of that is the stuff I'm doing outside of a full-time comics making. And I'll be honest, a lot of that volunteer work is going to be seriously analyzed to figure out what needs to go to improve my focus and my energy. So yes, I've been giving a lot of thought to where my energy is going these past 2 months, and unfortunately, YouTube is just not where it's at for me. So I won't be posting new videos. Like I said before, if or when I get back to it, they'll be in a very different format than before. One that won't take as long to edit and put together. Thanks for your understanding. If you want to stay in touch with me and know what I'm up to, I'm updating my blog a lot more often. I have a link in the description below. I've also been updating Facebook and Tumblr a lot more consistently, so I'll have those links in the description as well. Thanks for listening. You are awesome.